Now we're going to move into the next week, which is September 8th through September 14th. Now, we're going to be coming out of this full moon, right? So we're coming down off of that. Things are still going to be pretty intense. And so on Monday, the 8th, we will still have the moon in Pisces, and it moves into Aries at 2:37 p.m. So tend to your emotions and creativity in the morning. There's a lot of forward movement in the afternoon. So Pisces energy in the morning. So if you get a chance to get an extra spare few minutes of sleep, that would be really helpful for you. Tend to your emotions, work on some creative project, let yourself rest, and then don't worry, the energy will start to pick up speed in the afternoon. Now, Mars is still going to be square Jupiter. We're going to have Uranus trining Pluto, a lot of intensity. On the 9th, we have the moon in Aries opposite Mars in Libra, square Jupiter. So I wrote down for Tuesday, at least be polite. Okay, if that's all you can do, if that's all you've got, at least be polite. Step away. Now, on the 10th, things lighten up a little bit. The moon's going to move into Taurus after 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Enjoy a beautiful meal. Taurus loves all the simple beauty. The weather here in New England should be absolutely perfect this time of year. We're coming off the harvest moon. So enjoy the beauty, enjoy a beautiful meal, slow down and enjoy. Now, on September 11th, we never forget the history of 9/11, and we also don't want to forget our relationships with the moon and being in a Venus sign of Taurus. And we don't want to forget all of those people who lost their lives on September 11th also. So keeping that in mind, keeping that in your heart. Now, on September 12th, the moon's going to move into Gemini later in the day after 5:30 p.m. And the 12th is when the sun in Virgo will be sextile Jupiter in Cancer. Now, this is a positive aspect, a sextile. So the Virgo sun sextiling Jupiter in Cancer, building on what you have. Where do you want to grow from here? This is a good time to be updating your skills. This is a good time to think about, am I going to be expanding? Am I going to be going back to school? Considering all options. Virgo's a great analyzer. The sun is shining there. Mercury's hanging out there. And Jupiter, in its best placement in Cancer, is there to help you out. Jupiter rules the sign Sagittarius, has a lot to do with higher energy, has to do with school, higher learning, publishing, all that kind of stuff. So you're going to be considering all of those things on the 12th. Where do you want to grow from here? Now, on the 3rd, I swear there's something going on like every day this month. 13th, Mercury, Cazimi, the sun in Virgo. Now, Cazimi means that it's in the heart of the sun. So Mercury's literally like sitting in the middle of the energy of the sun. Mercury is also its most brilliant in the sign of Virgo, right? It's considered exalted. This Cazimi is conjunct together with the South Node. We've done this before. We've been there before. I've learned that before. Clear out the worry. Focus on the task at hand. Listen and call upon resources. Ask for help. Ask for advice. Ask for guidance and stay determined. This is a beautiful time. It's a beautiful time for communication. It's a beautiful time for getting things in order and looking at where we've been, how we've done it before, and how we're going to move forward. We're going to use all those wonderful skills that we've been advised to develop last month into this month to manage stress, to manage anxiety, to manage our fears, to health things. But even, I was even saying like it could be knitting, it could be anything that calms you. It doesn't have to always go to, exercise and diet. Yeah, that's great. But there's also other tools, and that's what you need to look at now so that you can make the most of this energy to move forward. So on Saturday, the 13th, lots of mental activity. Stay grounded. However you stay grounded. Maybe you walk outside barefoot. Maybe you use some grounding stones like red jasper or any of the black stones. Maybe you use grounding sheets. Maybe you use some grounding products, right? But stay grounded. I always like when Sheila Haidt talks about wearing ankle weights, right? It's a great literal way to stay grounded and to get great calves on top of that. Okay, now on the 14th, this is the last quarter moon in Gemini. Last quarter moon. So we're coming to the end of a cycle. You want to think on your feet. Gemini, fast moving. We know Uranus is hanging out in Gemini. Live in the moment. Do what you have to do. Let people believe what they need to get through this rough passage. It's not that you want to lie to people, but you don't want to correct their false assumptions. You'll be thankful later. Okay. So just kind of stay out of it. Lately, when working in retail, having a lot of people come in, a lot of people outraged politically, and not everyone's agreeing, right? And sometimes I just want to about it. And I don't agree with what people are saying to me, especially about things like tariffs that are extremely affecting merchants right now. Sometimes the nicest thing that I can say is, I hope you're right. That's all I got. I hope you're right. I hope that all of this is not true. I hope that your optimistic view on what's going to happen is so, but it's not worth trying to argue it or correct it, and we will be thankful for this later. Now, we're starting to head towards a new moon. Is that right? The new moon is really not until the end of the following week, but we're starting to work towards that Virgo new moon. Okay. So let's pull a few cards for this week, this big week. Lots going on all month. Let's see what we need to know during this week of September 8th through September 14th. And I'm also going to pull out here the Pastoral Tarot. This is a really beautiful one. I've used this many times, and it has a lot of like French countryside. Feels very calming. I guess it wants to give us two there. And then we're going to put one on the table with our Tower spirit animals, see what our spirit animal is for this week. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Haven't looked at any of these cards yet. First card is the Queen of Cups. And that makes sense with us coming down off this Pisces full moon. This is a creative, watery queen. And she's the queen of emotions. We know emotions are running very high, but creativity is running very high too. What she's carrying there, but I almost felt like she had a bunch of sea glass and all these things that she found. Different shells, different glass. So a lot of creative energy. So moon, right? Cancer is ruled by the moon. Full speed ahead. We're talking about harvest, and they are literally harvesting the hay. Those horses are moving fast, so there's fast forward movement. The Chariot asks us to trust feeling to move forward. The Chariot's always a vehicle, and it does not run on gasoline. It runs on intuition, so trust it this week. It can help you forward. See what your spirit animal is, and you have the snow leopard, self-reliance. You are strongly independent and often solitary. Integrity is important for your best outcome. Cloak yourself with invisibility and walk with the shamans. Use your intuition and let your life unfold in silent perfection. How cool is that? Yeah, we talked about intuition big time this month, and that it can help protect you. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful cards for the week ahead. So enjoy.